Hi everybody, I'm Kevin from Gemini Outdoors, and today we will be evaluating the Ozark Trail single burner camp stove. I got this stove at Walmart, I think for around $20, and we will be evaluating it today. Okay, so this is the Ozark Trail single burner camp stove, and I'm going to be putting it together for you in this demo just to show you what it comes with. It comes with this stuff sack that I really don't care for it that much. I guess if you want to use it. So you have to use one of these propane tanks from Coleman. At least that's what I've been using. Here's the actual burner itself, which is pretty big. And it comes with a base. Sorry for all the noise pollution on here. I got my son in the background and I got some neighbors outside doing their thing, but there ain't nothing I can do about that. But anyways, I highly suggest you use the base plate, because if you just use the burner itself, it will rock on you pretty good. So you put the propane tank onto the base. You take your little plastic cap here off, set it off to the side, and then this unit, basically it just screws right on top of it. And as you can see, it's a pretty big unit. Let me get this thing started here. It's a pretty big unit for what it is, and for what it's, well, what they say it's supposed to be used for, a camp stove. It's very big, it's very cumbersome. I don't think I would use it for that. This would probably be better utilized in a vehicle type system, like on a four-wheeler in a truck or something like that. And basically that's all it is to put together. It doesn't come with a if you can see, that's not a switch or anything. It doesn't come with anything to where you can just push a button and it pops up, so you have to use an external flame. So I always keep one of these little deals, if it'll come on at all. There it goes. So you'll have to bring a separate lighter along with you. Like I said, I apologize once again, my neighbor's out beating on something. So there it is, basically put together, and our next test is going to be how long it takes to boil a pot of water. Okay, since it doesn't make much sense to do test footage or test videos of this, what I'm going to do is make a demonstration video. And what we're going to do here, I guess in kind of a little bit of a test, is demonstrate how long it takes this unit to boil a pot of water that I have brought out here. It is not a camping pot, it is just a regular kitchen pot, so that may have some bearing on how long it takes. I've also brought a timer. I don't know if you can see it, so I can show you how long it takes. Grab that. Okay. So let's turn this unit on. There it goes. We're going to leave it at full. There it goes. So it's lit. I'm going to go ahead and place the pot up at the top. And I have started the timer. We're going to see how long it takes to get to a rolling boil on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak a little bit to this thing. What I found is the top unit may be a little bit difficult to put smaller pots on, and as you know, that could be a problem with camping type of equipment. So that's just one of them. We're out here, we're outside on the porch. I didn't get a chance to take it out anywhere and really mess with it that much. So this is about the best place I think I could probably find for it. It's outside. It's not. Oh shit. Well, there you go. Alright, so I have the unit lit, as you can see. We're going to try to test how long it's going to take to boil a pot of water here. So I've got it on there. Now we just had a fail with the base unit here. It tipped over completely, which I do not, that's one thing right there that I'm not liking about this unit. I'm keeping a real close eye on it right now. Okay, so I just put that on there. I just now started the timer, so I didn't get an exact thing. I want to see how long it's going to take to boil, bring this to a rolling boil, and I'm watching this unit to see what happens with it, because it went completely over on me. I may have to show that on the test footage. Wow, I wonder maybe if I bumped into it or something and made it fall while I was speaking. Like I said, that's why I would probably not use this as a backpacking type of system. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm probably going to cut this off, and once it comes to a rolling boil, I'm going to bring you back. Alright, so it's starting to, I'm starting to see bubbles and stuff and some steam coming off this thing. I apologize for the background noise. We got some neighbor kids walking through and my son's at the door. So we're right at 7.5 minutes right now, and not to a rolling boil yet. I did do a few tests of this system inside the house, and I got it right at about 5 minutes. So that kind of tells you that being outside does matter. So we're going to wait to see what we... Like I said, this pot might be another deciding factor as well. It's a little bit thicker steel than what camping system would have in it. Oh, it's picking up on the steam. Well, here we are at the 9-minute mark, and it's not at a rolling boil yet, but it's pretty close. Like I said, I apologize again for all the noise pollution on here. I'm in the, this is my house, and I'm doing some testing out here. There we go. It's starting to look a little bit better now. There we go. Now we're at a rolling boil. We're at a rolling boil at 9.5 minutes. So, well, I could hit the wrong button, but you got it on there. It was 9.5 minutes. And we're at a rolling boil right now, looking good. All right, that concludes our demo test video. All right, let's get right to the evaluation. Our primary theory of use with this product, as I was testing it, was as a backpacking top stove, but very early on, I figured out that that's not what I was going to be using this stove for. It's way too big for it. It's way too bulky for it, and it weighs way too much. I think my primary use for the stove would be in a vehicle top system, a camp top system, where weight and size would not be as big of an issue. Like maybe packing it on a four-wheeler or something like that would be much better than using it in a backpack. It just takes up too much room and is way too big. Let's get to the specs and you'll see what I'm talking about. Weight is 3 pounds 5 ounces, and that's including the propane tank and the base. Height 12.75 inches, width 7.5 inches, and depth 7.5 inches, and its output is 10,000 BTUs. Positive aspects about the stove is the stove seems well built, and it heats up very quickly. It works with camping propane tanks. You've seen them, you know, Coleman makes them. I think there's quite a few manufacturers that makes these bigger tanks. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we've got the actual unit itself, and as you can see, it's quite wide. I'm going to take the base off of it just because it's aggravating. As you can see, there's your control lever. You turn it on and off and adjust your flame with this. And it seems to do real well in that aspect of it. The flame is very hot. In testing, I believe it took about 5 minutes for it to boil a pot of water. That's kind of my demo test for it. And then it comes with, it uses these propane tanks. This is one from Coleman. Like I said, I think there's a few more manufacturers out there now. And as you can see, it's a very big propane tank compared to what a backpacking butane type tank fuel would use. So this is much bigger. And then of course you've got the base plate here, which I found out in testing you have to have. This thing's not going to stand up on just the tank. I know a lot of people say that, but this little thing has a little bit of a curve down here, so it doesn't. And this base plate, I actually had this unit fall on me while I was actually doing a demo, and I may or may not include that in this in the demo vids, but if I do, you'll see it before the eval anyway. But let's move on now. Like I said, it worked. Moving on now to the negative aspects, which I kind of touched on. The stove is bulky for the backpacking TOU, which, I mean, you can obviously see. I believe it would work better in a vehicle system TOU, which I've already covered. The support arms on this particular unit, I don't know if you can, here, let me put it up here again where you can see it. These support arms, there's a lot of width between the arms right here. I don't know if you could see it or not, but yeah, there we go. There's a lot of width in between there, and if you were trying to cook something on, say where you were using some camping type utensils or whatever, pots or whatever, cups, they fit on their the fit on there. Excuse me, I'm kind of battling a cold, so I hope you can forgive me for messing up sometimes, but they don't fit on there. They're set right on the very edge of the cups, I found, and the pots and stuff. They have to be kind of wide for it to sit on there good. That's another negative aspect to me. And the base plate. The base plate, I had it to where the unit actually just completely fell over. And you'll hear me even say it in the, kind of say a cuss word whenever it falls over in there, if I do include it. So just remember that. Well, you're going to see it before anyway, so I don't know why I'm saying that. Word of mouth. YouTube reviews of the stove have mostly been positive. And I can see why. I mean, it's well built. It is well built. I just don't think it's a good idea to use it in backpacking TOU. Alright, so let's get to the EVAL gray card. For performance, I gave it a 9 out of 10. It performed very well. Reliability, I've given it a 9 out of 10. I've had this unit for a very long time now, and I've used it on multiple occasions, and its reliability, it starts up just about every time. Durability, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Value, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Versatility, I gave it a 7 out of 10, knocking off points for it not being able to go into my backpacking system. Same with compatibility, 7 out of 10. For me, this thing's just going to be probably a vehicle system top stove. Simplicity, 9 out of 10. Maintenance, a 9 out of 10. Theory of use, I gave it a 9 out of 10, but that was more or less for the vehicle system. So I could have knocked off points there, but I decided not to. Likability, 9 out of 10 for an overall score of 85 out of 100 and a letter grade of B. And that was your EVAL grade card. Like I said, I could have knocked off some more points for the theory of use, but I just decided not to, just because I think that it does have a place in my system, so that's why I did that. My recommendations to the manufacturer: make the stove less bulky to use in a backpacking TOU, and make the support arms narrower, and make the base plate to where the unit fits in it a little bit better and it's not as tipsy. My recommendations to the audience is it is recommended. Excuse me. In closing, what I like about this is it's well built. It's very well built for $20. I think it'll hold up well for long-term use. I've had it for quite a while now, probably approaching a year now. Performance, it performs very well. And I do also like the fact that it takes the easily found propane tanks. Those are easily found. You can go in just about any store and find them. And they're a little bit more common, I think, than you would find the smaller butane tanks that goes on to like the smaller backpacking units I was talking about. Dislikes. Of course, it being so bulky, that's what eliminates it from going into my backpacking theory of use. And I don't like the support arms being out as wide as they are. They need to bring those support arms a little bit closer together to where you can set those cups and stuff on there like I was talking about. And one more dislike is the base on this unit. They need to make the base to where the unit actually sits in it and is stable. I found that out the hard way during testing and the demo video that I'm including with this, and you'll see what I'm talking about if I do in fact include it in it. So that was the evaluation of the Ozark Trail single burner camp stove. Thank you very much for watching.